Hey, and we're back with another lick of the week. This is continuing the D melodic patterns that we began last week. And I'm fighting a summer cold, so if I sound like I'm stopped up, it's because I am. So sorry about that, but I hate to get a summertime cold because it got about the worst feeling cold that you can have. But I'll muddle through somehow. So we continue. We picked up with the same pathways as we did for G and C, but we altered it by 2 notes because there are 2 notes difference between a C major and a D scale, 1 note difference between a D and a G major scale. So we're going to stay in this same area of the fingerboard for the next few weeks for D, and then I'm going to go up the neck for G, C, and D and show you, break down some patterns up here. But let's stay in this mid-neck area for right now. And of course we got the basic D scale, which we did last week, and then continuing up to a G note, and I'm going to add this A note. The 7th fret of the 1st string is an A note. So you can add that note to the previous set of scale notes. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, so. So the highest note we'll have in these licks will be an A note. So instead of the open 5th being the highest note that we'll use, we'll add this A note in at some point. What I want to do now is doodle around in this mid area of the neck here between 5 and 7 and just come up with some different variations on some ideas to give you some ammunition for improvising with melodic, just like we did in C major and G major melodic patterns. We can add chromatic notes. There's a lot of different things you can do to add flavors to a normal stale sounding major scale. But before we do that, let me just mess around with this pattern here. I'm going to start in the 5 to 7 fret range. I'm not going to use any of these lower tones yet. I'm going to stay down here. I'm going to pedal around through this area of the neck. Let's say we started with a D note, the open first, and we kind of work in a different arrangement of the same scale notes. I'm going to play the 1st string open, 1st string open, then this C sharp note, 3rd string, 6th fret, then go to the A note at the 7th fret of the 4th. Alright, now I'm going to pedal backwards and then go to the 5th fret of the 2nd string, which is an E note, and then play the 1st string open, so it's 1, 3, 2, 2, 1. Now I want to go back to the 3rd string, 6th fret, C sharp. 1, 3, 4, 2, 1, 3. Now I want to go back and pick up this F sharp note, 1, E note, 2, open 1st. So I'm using the 1st string kind of like a drone. Now I'm coming back to the 3rd string at 6 and then winding up on the open 1st again. So since the 1st string is a D note, I can use that as a constant and play around with these other scale notes. 1, 3, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1. So you can come up with some pretty neat staggered, I call staggered effects. Alright, now what about this A note? I can always throw that A note because the cool thing about these scale patterns is I can rearrange them in any way that I think musically sounds pleasing or fits in the situation I'm trying to apply it to. So what if I added this A note? So I'm going to still stick with the 1st string as being a drone. Now I'm going to play the A note at 7 on 1, 5 open, come back to the F sharp at 4 on the first, back to the 5th fret of the second, which is an E, open first, the C sharp note at 3 at the 6th fret, and then the open D. I'm going to try that all together now. So then you get what I call a climbing sound, you know, an ascending, kind of where you, it almost sounds like a 2-note pattern, but it's actually just a 2-note approach for the right hand with some staggered or mixed up scale tones. Now, what if you use some of the mode ideas with this? You can get some really pleasing notes, or note selections that still belong to the scale, but can be applied across different chord voicings in the chord progression. So, what if I started with this F sharp note on the 4th string, and then played F sharp, open first, and then go to the 3rd string, 6th fret, that C sharp note again. So I could start over here with a mode, and then come up with some pretty cool licks. Now, I'm not going to go into chromatics on this Lick of the Week series, but I'm just trying to show you how many permutations you can come up with. What if I started with the A note and go 4, open 2nd, C sharp note at 6 on the 3rd, open D on the 1st, F sharp and E here, then the open G. Then reverse the note. And remember too that since these scale notes that we're using, this pathway also intersect A major chord notes. You also get some pretty cool A melodic ideas too, so keep that in mind. So you get double duty with these ideas. And you can also include slides in some of these ideas. What if I were to slide into some of these D notes? Then you get some pretty cool effects like that. So what I'm doing here is I'm going A, B, C sharp, A on the 1st at 7, and then I'm sliding from a E to an F sharp note, and then to an open D string. So by playing around with a lot of these fragments and assembling them in a lot of different ways, you get some really cool ideas. But again, you're still working with the basic scale, but I'm taking some liberties here by sliding into a scale note. So I'm sliding here from an E to an F sharp, which normally you wouldn't do in melodic, but this is one of those things where scrug style and melodic can kind of cross over each other slightly. So there's some ideas for you to play around with, and again, some of these may be licks as I played them. Some of them may just be fragments of licks that you can assemble in your own way. So have fun with this and see how many different ways you can combine these scale notes to come up with interesting D licks. All right, appreciate it. We'll see you next week.